Hello and welcome to another edition of Back in Shape with T. I am Tarashe, and today I'm going to talk about a bodybuilder that I knew back in 2005, Shaun Clarida. They call him the Giant Killer, but trust me, he is so much more than that. This guy, I believe, we as bodybuilding fans will be talking about for the next 30 to 40 years. Not only does he bring an inspiring package to an Olympia stage or any other stage that he graces, but Shaun Clarida is the exact example of the bodybuilder that most fans love. He has that deep, crispy muscle, nice graininess, some vascularity, and that round fullness that makes a real good, aesthetically pleasing champion to look like on a bodybuilding stage. Although he comes in at well under 200 pounds, ranging between 174 and as low as 165 on the Olympia stage this 2018, which he made top 10. I believe he placed 7th on the Olympia stage. Shaun has displayed massive freakishness that takes him out of the concept of being a classic physique competitor and firmly places him into this new generation of freak bodybuilders. Look at that detail in his biceps. It is unbelievable. I am a fan of aesthetics. I'm a fan of size. I'm a fan of conditioning. This young man brings it all. I don't say that just because I knew him. I knew him once I had graduated from Rider University. I started taking some classes postgraduate. I believe he's still an undergrad. When I met him, he had only done 2 shows and he placed very high. And I convinced him to go into the INBF. Fast forward years later, he went back to the NPC and subsequently became an IFBB Pro and a New York Pro champion. And although he does not sport massive weight on the scale, this guy brings a freak factor to the stage. Look at the deltoids. You can't see deltoids like that on an average bodybuilder. Not even on an average pro. This gentleman is one of the best in the entire world. So of all the bodybuilders and all the bodybuilding wannabes, this guy really is a thing to behold. He looks like a statue. When I met him, he was not a weightlifter. He was a bodybuilder. Sure, he was strong. At 124 pounds, I remember him repping out over 400 pounds on the squat. But he trained to shape his muscle. He did not train his body to get bigger numbers on the bench press, just to squat for squat's sake. This young man used to try to sculpt his muscle, and before he was stuffing in the calories to where he is now, because I guess he has to eat about 12,000 calories a day, Shaun used to eat clean even in the off season. And his idea of bulking back then in 2005 was having a few more pieces of chicken breast, a few more grams of rice, and baked potatoes. This guy was a bodybuilder through and through. Look at him compared to Charles Dixon. Charles the Tank Dixon is built like a football player. Shaun is built like the statue of any winning championship trophy that a bodybuilder would get. Small waist, V-taper, nice lat spread in the double bicep. He reminds me of a Flex Wheeler. Most people would compare him to a guy like David Henry, but no, I find him more like a Flex Wheeler. Nice, crisp, aesthetic, lovely muscle that most bodybuilding fans really enjoy. And because he's just about 5'2", I think he serves as an inspiration for most people. What separates him is not just his work ethic, because a lot of people have a very strong work ethic, but Shaun has some God-given gifts. On a frame that's about 5'2", this young man not only has a six-pack, if you really focus in on his core, he has about an 8-pack. That really adds to the aesthetic quality of what I believe the new Mr. Olympia championships are going to be predicated on nowadays. A line between that super freaky muscle and that dense, grainy, old school 1980s look. The perfect combination of the two without the bloat. Shaun Clarida brings it 100% of the time. He never misses. The kid had always been one of the hardest working young men when he was younger, and now he's a seasoned older man. I believe Shaun is in his 30s now. Now that he's an older man, Shaun keeps getting better and stronger as days go on. If you watch him on Instagram or his YouTube page and you watch how he works out, not only is he moving heavy weight, but he does it with just about the perfect form. Like I said, bodybuilders are not there to be the textbook example for personal trainers who are learning to not injure clients and keep your clients from doing contraindicated exercises. There's a little bit of danger to bodybuilding. The principles are real. There are cheap principles. But this young man pounds the weights to get that crisp bubble muscle. Let's take a little time to focus on his chest. People don't talk about his chest enough, but with what he has, he's adding bubbles to those chest muscles. You could see the ripped striations in the pecs. You could see how beautiful the tie-ins are with the delts, which are overpowering, and those incredibly crisp triceps. Shaun Clarida never came ill prepared to a bodybuilding show. Even back in the day when this young man would pose, he had the perfect tan, the perfect oil. His routine was not a guessing game. It was a classic bodybuilding routine like nobody had ever seen. Well schooled and well versed in what this sport is. I know this gentleman also likes the naysayers, the doubters, and the haters. But what he has is something special because he brings such a crisp, wonderful package. And with that work ethic, I believe that if any of these athletes come off, if they don't bring it 100% to the Mr. Olympia 212 division, that Shaun Clarida will be an Olympia champion one day.